Now another tool or command that you can find on the drawing panel is the polyline. Now you can use the polyline in order to create a polyline by using multiple references. So instead of using two references, you will be creating multiple references or multiple points, or in other words, multiple points that are used in order to connect the segments that will form the polyline on the model space. And as well, this tool or command can also be found by using the menu browser. So you can use the search box on the menu browser in order to find the polyline, which will also imply that you can use other methods that we have seen so far in order to find the polyline. So this means that I can use the dynamic inputs in order to search for the polyline. But at the same time, you can see if there is a shortcut in order to create a polyline. Now in this case, the shortcut is P as in Peter, line. So it's pretty much the same thing as writing P-O-L in order to find the polyline, which is pretty much the same thing that you can do by using the command line. I'm just going to write poly with a Y as in yellow in order to find the polyline. Regardless of the way in which you find the polyline, once they use the polyline, you will be able to use the left click on the mouse in order to select the references or points in order to create the segments of the polyline. And in order to finish the polyline, you just need to click Escape or Enter on the keyboard. Now once you create the polyline, you are able to hover the polyline so you can see how it refers to in AutoCAD, and also so you can select it in order to see the controls, or in other words, in order to see the grid that is created for the polyline. Now with this in mind, you are able to create a polyline by using different methods. One of them is by selecting the references or the points that you are going to be using in order to create the polyline. But also, you can use the coordinate system in order to select how you want to draw the polyline. So I can just simply use the coordinate system in order to select the points that will create the segments that make the polyline, which will also imply that you can add more precision, but at the same time that you can draw the polyline a little bit differently by just simply selecting the length of the segment by typing a value on the keyboard. Now you can just simply select the next reference or point any way you want, but you can keep using the keyboard in order to select the length or in order to select a coordinate. Now once again, you need to click Escape on the keyboard, or if you prefer, Enter on the keyboard in order to finalize the polyline. Now because the polyline can be created by using the coordinates, you can also use other methods in order to draw a polyline, such as for example, the fact that you can restrict the movement of the cursor orthogonally, which also implies that you can restrict the movement of the cursor by using specific angles, or in other words, you can go back and forth between orthographic mode and polar tracking. And this is something that you can do by just simply using Shift on the keyboard or by using the icons on the status bar. So you can just go back and forth between restricting the movement of the cursor orthogonally or by using polar tracking at any point while drawing a polyline. And regardless of which way you create the polyline, the result is still going to be considered a polyline.